Hey, it's Larry Gonzales for the housing market update for the first full week of May. Trying to get this out to you pretty quick. There is a lot going on. Let's get into it. Housing market update. Big three. Prices, inventory up. We had a housing market inventory, a housing market report that came out this week. HBR. It was great. Really good news for the market. Rates are sideways. Not a lot of economic news. Quite weak in the market. Really not much moving it. But HBR housing report came out. Honolulu housing market is starting to pick up. That's great news. Initial jobless claims hit a 9-month high. It could be good news, but could just be a blip. All right, there's 1 week of reports that's not a trend make. And then the big thing we're going to talk about today is the NAR implementation, the National Association of Realtors. Implementation was extended till 17 August from 31 July, and some big VA implications there. HBR report. Median sales price single family homes back up at 1.1 million, same as last month. Condos though up near all-time highs at 528,000. I don't look over year numbers so much because I'm looking at that's last year. That was another market. Now I'm looking at trends. Let's look at the monthly. Hey, tell you what, spring season is in full effect. You see the closed sales up almost 14% for single family homes, 25% increase for condos, and inventory. Inventory is up as well. New listings up 20% for single family homes. That's a lot. We typically don't see that big a spike. And then month supply of active inventory. There's a lot more inventory, which means a lot more closed sales. That is good for the housing market. We're coming back. We're not quite to pre-pandemic levels, but we're moving in the right direction. All right, let's get into median days on market. You see a big drop from 31 for single family homes, days on market down to 17. That just goes to show, hey, when a house is priced right, boom, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell, and that's what happens. Single family homes going off pretty quick. Condos pretty steady. 30 days on market is about average. It's kind of where we're at. That blip in February was just a blip, I think, when it went up to 40. I think we're gonna stay near 30. Housing, you want to have 30 to 45 days on market. That's pretty normal. All right, let's go down here. New listings. This is it, baby. We hit 1,000. We eclipsed 1,000 for the first time since July of 2022. What happened in July of 2022? That's when interest rates started going up. Inventory or new listings started to go down. That's that lockdown kind of started to happen. We started to see rate lockdown, and that's when inventory really plummeted. Home sales really plummeted. But you can see the highest number of new condos really since spring of 2022. So people are getting used to the higher rates, and people who have owned homes for almost 2 years now, they got to sell. So they're putting their homes on the market. So that is a good thing for buyers out there. That's a really good thing. All right. Active inventory. Highest inventory in 3 years, people. All right, so last month was the highest. We eclipsed 2,000 for the first time in 3 years. Well, this week it was just a little more than that, 2,194 active inventory. Hey, before COVID, we were anywhere between 3,000 and 4,000 active inventory. This is good news. Look at that condo. Look at that nice steady increase for condos over the course of the last 5-6 months. That's great. I want to continue to see that. Single family homes lags, but still a little bit of an uptick, and that's good news too. Closed sales. Towards the middle of the year, you always see that's where we peak closed sales, but we also have more inventory. So more inventory equals more sales. Not quite where we were in the heyday post-COVID, but we're getting closer to pre-COVID numbers there. So we'll continue to see how that goes. Expect the number of closed sales to go up for the rest of the summer season and into the early fall. Median sales price is what I love looking at this. Single family homes steady above 1 million at 1.1. Hey, we're gonna hit that all-time high for single family homes in 2024. Mark my word. We're gonna get that peak that we hit in 2022. Condos, we're there. Look at how steady that is. All right. Interest rates go down. Expect those numbers to go up as well. Initial jobless claims, you see this little spike here. Not a lot of news otherwise. Continuing claims still under 1.8 million. We need to get over 2 million people. We need to get over 2 million. Once we get over 2 million, then you'll see the feds really seriously start talking about taking some of the Fed funds rate hikes or reducing the Fed funds rate. So, hey, look at this. I love this. This is VA rates. Man, last week we got the BLS jobs report. Look what happened. Boom. All right, interest rates dropped. All right, from that near 7% down to mid sixes. And guess what? That's where we're at this week. We saw this little blip here. That was with the initial jobless claims report that we talked about. But really, that's the range that we're going to be in. What's going to happen next week, though? That's the big market mover. All right, 10-year Treasury. All right, let's take a look at this. We're in between a range 4.4, 4.8. You see, this is this week here. These last three bars. Next week we got an inflation report. If it is a good inflation report, it will go below this 4.4 floor. All right, and there's a lot of room for that 10-year to go down, which means interest rates will go down. However, word on the street is that CPI report is not going to be good, and if it isn't good, we could go up to 4.8 and beyond. Interest rates could go higher next week, so that's just something to keep an eye on, and it's nothing you control. All right, if you're looking to buy a home, you still got to buy a home. If you're going to sell a home, you still got to sell a home. But this is something to take a look at. Next week is going to be really big for the market. I seem to say that just about every week, don't I? Let's get into the last thing I want to talk about today. It's a NAR, National Association of Realtors, buyer broker commission lawsuit. Current situation right now, VA buyers cannot pay any agent commission. That's right, VA buyers cannot finance any of the representation on the loan either. So the bottom line for VA buyers is this puts them at a distinct, as well as low-income Americans, puts them at a distinct disadvantage in buying a home because they cannot pay a buyer's agent. And what is this lawsuit anyway? Well, currently the biggest changes in this lawsuit are that, one, buyer agent compensation cannot be listed in the MLS. MLS is a listing service that all realtors put their homes on to advertise to other realtors and to buyers. But they can't put what the compensation was there. They always did. Before, most of the time did, but they cannot do that now. And then the other one is the buyer must have a signed agreement with an agent before that agent, that realtor, can take them on showings. All right, that's a big one. All right, and my first home I bought, I didn't use a realtor. I think I've talked about this before, and I paid dearly. All right, I overpaid. I didn't do all the things that a realtor is going to help you do to make sure that you're making the best decision and buying the right house. It's super important you have one. And here's the other thing. You know, the seller can, despite this lawsuit, the seller can, and in most cases will pay the buyer agent commission. All right, that's not going to change. It really, here's the thing that I'm seeing right now with this broker commission lawsuit is that the changes made are going to severely curtail home ownership for veterans if we don't change these VA rules, and for lower income Americans. They already do not have the money to pay for buyer's agents. They can barely afford to buy the home that they're buying. So making a buyer pay for the buyer's agent is not going to work. It's not going to work. And it's going to hurt homes. If we don't get this figured out, you're going to see home prices go down. I know we're going to figure it out. I'm an eternal optimist. It's going to happen. All right, so you can see how big this is. I'm going to talk about the NAR lawsuit weekly as we go through here. I think it's important. There's a lot of misinformation out there. The key is just to pay attention. And as a buyer, you're still going to buy a home. All right, no matter what happens, all right, buyers are still going to buy, sellers are still going to sell. So what does this all mean? Hey, applications are up. All right, we're in the spring selling season. Applications are up. Inventory is up. Expect that to continue through the summer months. We need a solid inflation report. Sellers, hey, seller credits are going to be around 75% to 80% of all my buyers right now are getting some sort of a seller credit. Hey, that's keeping the market moving. But I will tell you this, there's some parts of the island you're not going to get a seller's credit. I just had an open house last week in Kaneohe. No seller credit. Home went on the market on Monday. By Thursday, they had 3 offers, all above asking, and with escalation clauses. You have a home priced right in the right area, it's going to sell. You're going to see competition. You're going to see escalation clauses. Folks, if rates go down, you're going to see that on the rest of the island too. That's all I have for you this weekend. Have a great week. Aloha.